All right. I'm just going to go back to doing this on a daily basis because it's easier and it just it helps encourage me if I know I get to brag a little bit and say that I did actually do my goal at the end of the night instead of just coming on and making a video if I don't reach my goal. We got to have a carrot alongside with the stick here. So I did reach my goal today. I got through at least a half a chapter. It's kind of hard to gauge whether or not it's a half a chapter, but it's approximately half a chapter. It's about halfway through the events that are supposed to happen in this chapter by my outline. I wrote 1,053 words in that, and then I also had to rewrite a good chunk of my outline for this chapter because I realized that there was other stuff that was needing to happen and that I was going to present some information very differently than I had originally planned, and it will just work better that way. I do this like every chapter. I end up running into like fixes for things that I was previously concerned about that I thought sounded stupid, and then I figure out a way to make it work or to plant something in this chapter that explains something in a previous chapter that I'm like, yeah, but that's lame and nobody's going to get it. But I can do it in later chapters as well as not just sprinkling it in previous chapters, which is kind of fun. I don't want to ramble too long. I basically just want to say I did reach my goal today. I did about a half a chapter. I worked on rewriting part of my outline. And I also figured out that I don't have to add a chapter in here for one of the scenes that I needed to make happen. There was actually a spot in an outline that I have for one of my other chapters where that particular detail can just be added. But at the same time, that's kind of ticking me off because that means I lost a chapter, essentially, and I'm now down to only 29 chapters instead of 30, and I really liked having it as rounded off 30. So we will see. Perhaps one of my other chapters, because I can look at my outlines, and I've got just paragraphs of outlines for some of these chapters. Perhaps one or two of those will split into multiple chapters, and we'll get back up to 30 or more chapters total on this. We will see. Anyway, this is an incredibly boring subject. I'm planning in the next couple days to do a video on the overuse of similes as well as what might be triggering you to do that, because I realized the other day what triggers me to do that, and I'm guessing that other people have that same problem in common. That's something I noticed actually in that book that I was reading that I talked about earlier in one of my videos or in the Steal the Sky book by Megan E. O'Keefe, that there's like seriously at least one simile a page in this. And I get it because that's a fantasy one and it's like on a not real world. So there's a lot of stuff that you might need to compare stuff to so that we understand what she's trying to get across in this fantasy fake world. I don't mind it because she does good similes. They're not like corny similes. But I can see how for some people it might be a little distracting to have so many similes. And I have a bad habit of throwing in similes just, oh my gosh. I don't even realize I'm doing it. I'll read back over my material and I'll be like, how do I have like 10 similes in this one chapter? What the heck? Or metaphors. Like sometimes they're metaphors, sometimes they're similes that I have in there. It's just... And the metaphor ones somehow are always like way more contrived. And they sound ridiculous. So we're going to talk about that in a video probably tomorrow. I'm going to try to get to that. And I'm going to try to do that a little bit more scripted and a little bit more organized so it's not just a rambling, just rant like this one. I'm going to try to point out why I tend to run into doing too many similes, and they're just unnecessary similes, and ideas on how you can avoid that if you catch yourself doing that same thing. Anyway, I'm going to let you go for tonight. You guys have a great one. All right, bye.